some amazing footwork on the sidelines. Would that translate to soccer?
Would it translate to soccer? I think I would be a pretty good soccer player. I used to play soccer a lot in elementary at recess. I would not know the rules though. I think I would definitely be offsides a lot. And I don't know if that's because in basketball you use the word cherry picking. When you wouldn't go down there and help out your team on defense, you would just stay on one side. So I would have to learn the rules. The more I learn the rules, I think I'll be pretty good in soccer, but I think I could do some good footwork.
Are you a good bowler at all? Or?
Yeah, I was pretty consistent yesterday, just being able to bowl. I don't really bowl a lot, but the 3 scores I got bowling against myself, I got a 128, a 126, and like a 141 or 144. So, you said, do I have a favorite soccer team? I do not. I do not really have a favorite soccer team. When I would play FIFA, I would just kind of play with anybody and everybody. And so, yeah, I haven't really watched soccer as much. I've played the games, but I never really had like a favorite team.
How do you like the trip so far? The facilities here with FC Bayern Munich, one of the biggest soccer clubs in the world. Is something that impressed you? You like about the city or the club?
Yeah, well, I mean, ever since we got here, the tough part for me was getting here because I don't like flying at all. I'm not a flyer. So once we landed, I was good. And so, I mean, ever since we've been here, I mean, it's been great. They've kind of had us on lockdown a little bit. We have a little bit more freedom today. So hopefully we get the chance to be able to go out more and be able to meet a lot of people, just be able to have conversations. Like, I think it's pretty cool just being able to come here to a different country. You learn the culture. You get to meet people. We get a chance to be able to play in front of everybody. Hearing that it's a lot of Seahawks fans here. And so not too many of us ever get a chance to be able to just go overseas and being able to meet new people, experience different things. And so I think it's pretty cool to be able to do that. And I'm looking forward to being able to have some more time just to be able to meet people and connect.
You mentioned that there's a lot of fans here. Is that way in London too? Just what does it mean to you as a team when you come across the world and there's a bunch of Seahawks fans?
I think it's pretty cool, man. I think it really says a lot just about the NFL, but also just the Seahawks in general. We're just like a fun team, a fun, entertaining team. Have a lot of different people on the team. You have funny people, quiet people. But at the end of the day, like, just to be able to see that there's so many people, even outside the country, that watch us, that will even message us and tell us how great we are, how they love watching us as a Seahawks. It just shows that this game is expanding outside of the United States, and more people are wanting to be able to enjoy what it is that we get a chance to be able to enjoy every Sunday.
Have you already been able to tell a difference in coming out a day early and kind of the adjustment that's taking place?
You said, have I been able to tell the difference? Yeah. I think, well, I really like the fact that we do have a chance to be able to come out here on Wednesday. Being on the West Coast, I mean, we're 9 hours, like 9 hours behind. So I think it really does help for us just to be able to leave on Wednesday. We get here on Thursday. We at least get Thursday and Friday to try to start getting acclimated to where we can be able to try to start putting ourselves in positions where we're not tired or dealing with jet lag or anything like that. So I think it really helps us out a lot. Obviously, when we went to London, we did the same thing, and I think it helped us out. And even coming here a day early, it gives us more time to be able to sightsee.
Do you remember in London, did you feel like by game day you were pretty normal in terms of that body clock?
Yeah, I mean, going into game day, I mean, everything felt normal. Obviously, I mean, it'll be 2 or 3 in the morning and we're just sitting up looking at the wall trying to figure out like how we're gonna go to sleep. And it was a lot of time adjusting that we had to do, and it was a lot of time management we had to do. I think the biggest thing that it reminds me of is, like, you know, when you come into the league and say you play for the Seahawks, this is an organization that's self-driven. And so, I mean, it's kind of similar when you go overseas. It's like you got to be able to know how to find your best self, how to be able to get yourself right, how to get yourself ready. Some people might be able to sightsee. Some people don't need to sightsee. They need to just get themselves acclimated to be able to play on game day, but only you know that. And so for us, I mean, you know, we're not going to tell people you can't do nothing, go sit down. It's like, do whatever you feel you can do, but if you're tired, go take a nap. If you need to stay up, but do whatever is going to get you right to be able to play your best.
for a lot of German fans, they got big into football around like 2015, big into the Seahawks in 2015. So for them, you're like the Seahawk, right? Because you've been here all the time. What does that mean to you to like be so many German fans like favorite player?
Well, I mean, to hear that it goes back to 2015, it makes me feel old. Cause I'm like, what, 30? And I mean, we're in 2022 right now, so like 7 years ago. So, well, 8. So that would be more my first year. Yeah, so 8 years ago, ooh-wee. Well, I mean, first and foremost, like just to still be standing here and still be playing, I mean, that's a great feeling. And, you know, it's one thing when we're in America, you hear a lot of fans, you hear people talking about you, how they love you and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's even more cool to see it overseas because, like, there's so many great teams here. There's so many people that do so many great things. And so when you come here and people are like, can I take a picture with you? Like, okay. Like, you know, it makes you feel like, okay, like, you know, I'm important in a sense to where it's like I can go overseas and it's like people know who I am. Like I used to love going to Seattle. People never knew who I was. And then now when I go there, everybody knows who I am. And so it's kind of cool just experiencing that same thing when you go overseas, people talking to you and you get a chance to meet them, talk about different things and stuff like that. And so, I mean, you kind of get the best of both worlds when it's overseas.
What kind of poets or spoken word do you like, switching up a bit?
You said what kind of poetry do I
Yeah,
like?
poetry or spoken word or, yeah.
I mean, I like all kinds of poetry. I think for me, like the biggest thing with poetry is just learning how to be real with yourself. Like there's some things that people might want to hear, things that they might not want to hear. Like you can talk about love, you can talk about life, you can talk about, I mean, whatever comes to mind, you could put all of them, you know, together. But I think for me, it's just a way of expression and it's a way to be able to express yourself. It's funny because, you know, if you say poetry, people think roses are red, violets are blue. When you say spoken word, they're like, oh, okay. You know, so, but it's like, it could all be the same thing. And so I really do enjoy it. I love doing it. I haven't really done it as much lately, but I mean, it's something that if I really sat down or if I'm just traveling and things are coming to me in my head and I think I could put stuff together, I definitely would try to put something together. And regardless if anybody likes it, I like it, so it's a win for me.
You want to write another book one day?
You said what?
You want to write another book one day?
Yeah, if that time comes. I mean, you know, the publishing company had reached out to me about writing a book, and I thought it was a great idea, so ended up doing it. If that ends up being something that happens, I'm all for it. I think one of the things that I'm interested in kind of doing is kind of making videos. When I was in college, it was this girl. She had did a spoken word piece or a poetry piece, and when she was sitting down and she was saying the words, you could see everything that was happening on video in front, like above her. And it was kind of cool that you could be able to follow what she's saying and you're seeing it happen in real life too. And so it's something that I've thought about being able to do when it comes to performing, being able to find different ways and strategies to be able to allow the viewers to capture my words, but also capture the vision.
Sorry for a mundane question, but do you feel totally healthy after the last couple of weeks, or?
I don't think you can ever be healthy,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think I'm as good as can be. I mean, you know, I haven't really been feeling good lately, just, you know, under the weather. Everywhere we go is weather changes. We go to Arizona, it's hot. It's been raining in Seattle. We come here, you know, it's a little cold, not as cold though, but you know, the weather's just changing. Got to dress differently. But I mean, I feel as good as can be. I mean, I feel as good as any 30-year-old.
Right, I know you had
Bad news for you.
I knew you had a couple specific injuries, so I just wondered. I mean, you were on the injury report the last couple of weeks, and you're not.
Yeah, no, I mean, but a lot of it too, man, is they've been trying to do a great job and just being able to take care of me and not trying to have any major setbacks to where now I got to sit out, you know, a lot. So, you know, a lot of that is if they hold me back, I probably could practice, but they just didn't want me to just for, you know, the safe calls. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing because, you know, even as you head into bye week, you want to make sure everybody's as healthy as can be. And so, obviously on the report, you know, you got to put, you know, this, and this. And I mean, it's true what they're putting down because, you know, it's just instead of me trying to make it any worse or anything, it's like, let's just hold you out.
Are you able to talk about the importance of route timing in the offense and how the first 2 weeks it took you a while to the first 2 weeks to sort of work it out. Do you agree with that? And how are you feeling it's going now?
Well, I mean, I think, it's all team-based. Like, when we played against certain teams at the beginning of the year, we knew that there were some things that teams wanted to be able to take away and that we weren't going to be able to fully utilize. And so I think we did pretty good, like going into the first game, being able to understand how we wanted to attack our opponent. So some people might say, well, they didn't throw the ball deep, but for us, that just wasn't the game plan going into the game. And so, we played against San Fran, first away game. San Fran did a great job coming out there certainly, but the things about losses is losses are only losses if you take it like that. Some losses are lessons, and for us, I think that's what's happened for us as a team is that we lost to San Fran, but the thing that we learned was that, from what you heard the coaches say is that, okay, we're going to let everybody go. We're not going to hold people on a leash anymore. And then all of a sudden they let everybody go, and offense has been clicking. We've been doing a lot of great things. Doesn't mean that hard times won't come. It just means that we're learning how to play with more freedom. And so being able to do that has helped us learn how to be successful. When you look at the defense is learning how to be able to play with more freedom. And so it's just a learning experience. And sometimes greatness and great teams come from trial and error. And I think we've experienced a lot of trial and error, and that's what's allowing us to learn how to be even more great. Because through the mistakes, you learn how not to give that stuff up, because it's a copycat league. Once teams see what you struggle with, they're going to try to continue to do that, but just give you different looks every single time. And so for us, it's being able to know that and knowing how to be able to overcome that and study ourselves.
I saw you respond on Twitter too. I assume the criticism maybe you saw on the third down play last week. Is that a tough thing ever as a player? Because obviously you see something there that you watch it on HDTV from a million miles away. So you kind of see it a completely different way. Is that ever a hard thing to deal with as a player at all?
I mean, you deal with it. I think at the end of the day, that was like one of the first times I fell short of a third down, and everybody just thinks I always fall short of a third. You know what I mean? And so, I just think for me, people don't understand how physical the game of football is or how physical it can be. And yeah, you could take hits or you could choose not to take hits. When I was in college, I told you guys this before, one of my coaches, Andre Coleman, was like, man, look at Torrey Holt, look at Isaac Bruce. They catch what they can, they get what they could get, and then they get down. And, a lot of people can call you soft or, whatever the case is, but they don't understand the things that we see when you're done playing football. When people talk about CTE and people talk about injuries and having to get all these different surgeries after they're done, like, everybody wants you to put your body on the line for what? Your entertainment, your amusement, whatever. For us, we put our body on the line every single day. And so just because you don't make a first down doesn't mean, whatever stuff is that people say. So I think, for the most part, man, if my coaches tell me to go get the first down, go get the first down. I thought I had the first down. You know what I mean? I don't see a yellow line like everybody else gets to see. So on TV, I get it, but they make TV more easier for anybody to know what's the first down. They just got to get to that yellow line, So for me, I just made a mistake. I didn't get the first down. I should have got the first down. Things could have been different, but I didn't. You learn from it. You keep it moving. But this game is also about durability. And if you're not able to go because you're not healthy, then it's the next man up. So I try not to get too caught up in it because people don't know the injuries I've been dealing with. Like when we talked about the last couple of weeks and all that type of stuff, they just you should have did this, this, and this. So you just got to take it with a grain of salt, but you can't please anybody, especially the internet. You'll have a long life if you try to please the internet.